Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight, and I'm with Alex Urbina. Alex Urbina is a family life coach. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about life coach. What does it mean to you? Well, tell me about what a life coach is.
Well, a life coach is gives themselves permission to work with their clients and open up possibilities that their clients can't see. And once you open up possibilities and your client can see those things that which they couldn't see before, now that you give them personal power, and now they can make certain choices and create the kind of results that they're looking for. So my job is to open up possibilities for people that they can't see.
And so it's done through a lot of questions, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily that you have the answers.
That's
it's
right.
Together you come up with the answers.
In fact, I have no answers, but I can open up possibilities and ask the questions that most people don't like to ask themselves. For example, what is it that what's one of the payoffs you're getting for choosing that same thing over and over again? Well, people don't sit there and ask themselves, what payoff am I getting? They just avoid those and they just don't ask themselves. They don't even go down that road. But when I force you to answer some questions that you're not willing to ask yourself is when you start to get to some of the solutions that you're looking for.
And when you answer that question honestly, a lot of times the payoff isn't as great as the risk you take in that activity you engage in. Because you deal with a lot of children that really have been challenged in their lives, don't you?
Well, I work with all children, all teenagers. You know, when I first started doing this, I started working with at-risk teenagers. Then I got an opportunity to start working with some of the Leadership Academy teenagers. And the conclusion I came to is that all teenagers are at risk. Every teenager has some limiting belief about themselves that stops them from getting themselves to the next level. In fact, all people, all adults, have limiting beliefs that stop them to get from where they are to where they want to be at. And so what I do is I tap into the gap, which is where you are to where you want to be. I ask the questions inside that gap that starts to have you create breakthroughs in your life.
Tell us about some of the questions you do ask when you're looking at creating more possibilities.
Well, the very famous question that I ask, and a lot of people, they'll tell me, I've been to years and years of therapy, and I've never had a therapist ever ask me this question. And the first question I ask people is, what do you want? That's a question I think that a lot of people sometimes don't even have clarity on what it is they want, and they never really sat down and dissected it to underneath, like at the core, what do you really want? And when you ask that question, people start to come up with stuff, and they don't know. They thought they wanted one thing, but when they realize through your questions that, well, maybe it isn't that I really want that. It's that I want this. And so a lot of things I think for me is that I ask questions to help you get clear. I think clarity is the number one thing that people don't really have. And a lot of times don't realize that that's what they're looking for. So a lot of times I discover and help people discover things that they just didn't know was possible.
Barriers sometimes are self-imposed.
That's right.
They're really,
I believe all barriers are self-imposed. In fact, you know, life just happens the way it does. It just unfolds the way it does for everybody. And I think what distinguishes the people that have self-leadership is they see things as they are. It is what it is. And other people see them as limitations, or I can't do this, or here's another reason why I can't. But if you can just look at things and train yourself to see things as they are, which it is what it is, so what, now what, if it's to be, it's up to me, and then you just create your own reality, you create your own results.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Also, I think it's important to not only dream, but to believe your dream, to believe that you can get done what you think you can get done. Because in this country, what happened this morning? This morning, we created a whole bunch of billionaires through Facebook. Someone believed and created Facebook. And sometimes it's a matter of following that dream, but putting maybe some parameters around it so you don't fall in any landmines. Do you find that often, people chasing dreams or afraid to chase a dream?
I find common that people have given up on their dream, period. So there are different levels. When you talk about dreams, there are different levels that you can be at regarding dreams. Some people don't have them. Some people have them, but have a limiting belief that they don't actually exist or you can never get there. So there's so many different levels of dreams, and my job is to figure out which level you're at, and I have to meet you where you're at. So if you're at level 2, I got to meet you at 2 and get you to 7 or 12. If you're already at 12, I got to figure out how to get you to 20. And so the scale never stops. But I think dreams is important. It's the main component that you have to have a dream or a vision big enough that's going to excite you to get up every day and then make those choices to create the results you're looking for.
And I think one of the most important things to remember, and we're almost done, but I want to talk about the fact that the older you get, sometimes the more limiting belief you get because you become more conservative. You're afraid to take a risk. You're afraid to do X, Y, or Z. When I tell you what, my father, he created a lot of wealth in real estate past the age of 55, 56. You would think that's, you just sell and you pay everything off. He took a chance and he created what he created at the age of 55. And sometimes as you get older, we become a little more negative or a little more protective of what we do have.
Well, even that's a belief. Even that statement you said is a belief.
Correct.
What if I just said, I woke up this morning and here I am, and so today I get to create whatever I want, rather than, and bringing my past into each new moment and tainting the new moment of unlimited possibilities. But I'm here today, and I get to just create whatever I want because I'm that powerful.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Those that want to get a hold of you, Alex, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at alex@alexurbina.com. That's my email. Or you can just give me a phone call. I'd love to get a phone call from the radio. I'm actually waiting for my first phone call from anybody that's listening on the radio at 661 area code 505-5021. And I welcome all phone calls. Just call me and we'll chat. 505-5021.
And Alex Urbina, I gotta spell out the last name so you get it. It's Urbina.
That's correct.
Alex at alexurbina.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Urbina, a family life coach, and you've been listening to and watching online the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.